Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today's look is going to be a burned kind of Freddy Krueger-ish look. It was supposed to be Freddy Krueger's wife or whatever you want to call it, but it did not turn out that way, so I'm just going to call it burnt skin, I guess. But yeah, we're going to start out by covering up our eyebrows, and I did that by using some glue stick. I just went over them once, then I powdered them, and now I'm going over them again with a thicker layer of glue, and then I'm going to powder them yet again. And after you get your eyebrows powdered and everything, this is optional, but I wanted to go ahead and do it to give my skin a little bit of barrier between the liquid latex that we're going to be laying down. So I just went ahead and applied a pretty thick layer of foundation all over my skin. But like I said, this is optional. I just really wanted to have a barrier between the liquid latex. Then I'm going to be applying some liquid latex on my face, and you can also see that I'm using tissue paper, and I'm using the 2-ply, but I'm ripping them in half. And at first I was really particular about not wanting to have just a straight up square piece. I wanted to rip it up so that there was no harsh edges, but then I realized that I was going to scrunch it all up anyways after a while, and if it had harsh edges it really didn't matter, because the way that I was scrunching it up, it was blending it in anyways, if that makes any sense. And you're just going to continue to do this all over your entire face, using as many layers as you want. Make sure that you're careful putting it around your eyes. You don't want this stuff getting inside of your eyes at all. Once you have your whole face covered up, I am just using some more tissue paper, and I'm rolling it up between my fingers and making some little hole-like places on my face, and just going over that again with liquid latex to make sure that it stays on really well. This part doesn't really have to be blended, or at least in my case I wasn't worried too much about it being blended, because it is going to look like raised up skin or scar tissue. And also through this process, you can make all kinds of weird faces and stretch out the liquid latex, and that's also just going to add to the effect of it as well. But you can see, just rolling up the toilet paper or tissue paper, whatever you use, and making it into a circle will just make a little hole or a crater for you to put product into. Now I'm just going over everything with powder and making some of my hideous faces to help stretch it out. But the powder is going to help set everything in place and keep it from getting sticky and ruining all of your eyeshadows. Or your Real Technique sponge, I guess. Now I'm just going over it again with foundation. And this was optional, but it kind of seems necessary because it's going to save on a lot of eyeshadows. And then I'm using this palette, which actually kind of sucked for this, but I mean, what can you do? It was a really cheapo little palette, and whatever it takes to get the job done, I guess. But I used the darkest shade in there to go all around my hairline, and I've got liquid latex everywhere. I've got it all in my hair. I've got it all over my shirt. It is everywhere. But just take the darkest shade and apply it all over your face in different places. And then I went into my 120 palette and got some of the red and purple shades and used that to make blood or agitated skin, and then really packed it on my eyelids to make them look super irritated as well. And this is one of those looks you can adjust it to be however you want it to look. You could put more red to make it look like a fresher burn. You could use darker colors to make it look like an older burn that's just scabbed over. It's just completely up to you. And again, I'm just making more faces, and gosh, it looks terrible, guys. But just keep making faces and you'll get there. And now I'm just taking some of this vampire blood because it was super cheap and applying that in just random places all over my face to make it look like freshly, I don't know, freshly wounded, I guess. We'll go with that word. And this was fun too. It was like finger painting. And it's another one of those things where you can add as much or as little as you like. I went with quite a bit because the eyeshadows were not sticking to it. I didn't really have the eyeshadows that I wanted to use to stick to it. Now I'm just teasing up my hair and making it look like it's a jumbled up mess. I already sprayed some orange in it because I wanted to see how well the color was pigmented, and it was pretty cool, so I was excited to do this part. And then because my neck was still showing, I wasn't really concerned with it because I'm going to be washing this off right after the video, but I still wanted to give it somewhat of an effect for you guys, so I went ahead and applied some more of the fake blood to my neck as well. And as far as the hairline goes, I would personally wear my hair kind of draping over my face anyways, so you don't really have to worry about the harsh edge around it. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And this could be like exposed muscle or skin, however you want to call it. Thanks for watching and have a great day.